They inspire me to do better. Holy. We'd like to welcome y'all to the Habitual Overcomers Podcast, Episode 9. Overcomers International, with our very first guest, our good friend from chat, Doof. And as always, I'm Toots McAbernathy. And with me, as always, is Keith Creator.
Present.
All right, fellas, go ahead. Hammer away.
I used to do in school. But yeah, I mean, we were talking before off stream and everything about just life in general and comparing different nations, and how Doof's only allowed 2 guns, and now he's got to pick his favorite 2 guns out of all the guns in the world, and that's unfair, and just stuff like that, and different passions, and especially learning how creative, Doof is, and forcing it basically forces you. The rougher time you have starting out, the better you're going to be on the outcome. And it seems like it really, like, Doof really went through something to create something, great. He's a great upholsterer, that's something. Anyways, how you doing, Doof?
Very good, thank you.
Nice, welcome. Amazing.
Yeah,
thank you.
I wanted to bring you on here mainly because I wanted to compare, because you being in the U.S., man, growing up in the U.S., it's kind of like you get complacent, right? You get complacent, like you see your news, you see your culture online. You don't see outside. I don't see anybody outside typically. So I'm very curious about what it's like being in another country, growing up in another country, and what influences do you have? How's the immigration in your country? How's life after COVID? We haven't got any of our 24/7 business. Walmart included has not fired back up during the night, and that might, we got a big theft problem, got a big crime problem, but what's it like over there? Do you have a big crime problem? Do you have 24/7 businesses, Doof?
Yes, sir. There are a few 24/7 businesses, mainly the bigger companies. The service stations usually stay open, which a lot of the crime happens there. Obviously, you guys same around there with the fuel stations.
So your
like
fuel
that.
stations are 24/7?
Yeah, some of the bigger companies have their fuel stations open 24/7, mainly in the bigger
we only
cities.
have one. I only have one that's 24/7. That's it.
Yeah, that's usually more of a, like, the rural community will have 1 or maybe 2 stations. But when you get into the big cities, over here, you'll find that there's a lot more 24 hours. For what type of environment do you live in? Do you live in a country setting or a city setting?
So yeah, so I'm 2 hours inland from the coast. We are a rural city.
Nice.
250,000 people. Elevation.
Yeah, you're about
750 meters.
That's cool. You know the elevation of it.
My car tells me so.
Oh yeah, you're ready to truck. Nice, dude. That's awesome.
Too much technology, Keith. Too much technology.
Absolutely. We had a whole thing about that, dude. But yeah, I mean, like I was telling you, I have an O2 Dodge, and I mean, if I touch anything on the dash, it just crumbles apart because it's 25-year-old plastic. So, yeah,
Yes.
Yeah,
so for instance, most of our fuel prices are a little bit higher than the eastern cities.
Because it's harder to get to transport.
Transport costs, that's correct. Most of our country is run by trucks. We have 18-wheelers or whatever you may call them down there. B doubles.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. 18-wheelers.
B doubles, whatever they may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, big boys, and they move a good portion of our freight around the country. So without the trucks, Australia stops.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that we're on the same page there.
Oh yeah.
Very identical situation.
What Canada did, right during COVID to the truckers, and look at that was their whole point. They wanted to stop the trucks to, just to, strike. Make a point.
Yes.
But,
Having said that, Keith, the coastal communities don't get affected as much.
Oh, really?
We
Yeah,
have two
I would
major.
understand
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
we
because
have
of
two.
boats, you know.
Yeah, we have two major ports on our east coast and one on our north coast. So it
Nice. So,
makes it
how
a bit.
big is the country? How big is Australia exactly?
That's a good question. That's a good question, Cheech. Google will have that answer.
Okay, no problem. No problem. I'm just
How many
curious, comparatively speaking.
people?
I think we're
Yeah,
about
how many people are
25
in Australia?
million
I know
people.
25 million. Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Really.
25 to 20. Yeah, 25 to 28 million. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
330 million Americans last time I checked, right? So that's damn.
yeah.
You know, that's that thing should
That's why I
be
was
humming.
curious about the
Dude.
size of the
I bet that
landmass
thing's humming.
measured in, meters or acres or whatever. Um,
Yeah, so there'd be
Yeah, but with
acres,
that,
hectares,
sorry.
meters, acres, hectares.
yeah. I don't know the last one, but I have to
I'm
look
not
that
too
one
sure
up.
either. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and with that significant, I mean, that's with that amount of people, it's got to be like, for instance, when I go to the beach, right, and down there, there's no corporations, none, and it's all everybody has their own business. Everybody has their own like just standard
It's more
business,
small business driven
basically.
instead of corporate store
Yeah,
driven.
yeah. Is
So,
that the case, or do you have more corporations taking over? At what stage do you think it is?
We're definitely corporate run when it comes to the grocery side of things. Anyway,
yeah.
there are two major
Yeah,
companies
definitely.
that may two major companies that majorly run Australia, and they are Coles and Woolworths. They're in competition with each other. However, we do have a few other companies um, in competition, which is a German company called Aldi, ALDI.
Mm-hmm.
We got
They,
Audi.
We
they
have all these.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
That's
That's
the
there you
cheap
go. And
stuff, dude.
Very
we also
nice. Look at that.
yes, sir.
What a connection.
So we do
That's
not buy anything, any meat or produce wise. How our country actually supplies more than enough for the whole country, um,
that
and
is
that's the main reason.
the most beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so that's the
Because
amazing.
main
I'm worried
reason
about
our
some of our
country
meat being
export.
glued together.
Well, that's the nice thing
So
about
the
having a
US.
population that's a little smaller like that. It's a little easier to help
Yeah,
people and to be able to do something like that. So that's really
that's why I
nice.
said that thing
Yes,
should be
so
humming.
we do have Costco as well. Um,
Oh, yeah.
However, it's in the
Mm-hmm.
That's
major
awesome.
companies. To be quite honest with you, I've never been there. Um, unless I need 1,000 rolls of toilet paper or
Yeah.
200 liters of dishwashing liquid, I'm pretty good.
Right.
So, in
Right.
your opinion, right, with 25 million people, it's not exactly the size of a superpower. Granted, Australia is one of the best countries in the world, in my opinion. And so, what do you think your culture in Australia is on the track to be as a superpower? More leaning towards U.S. or China? Is like more where I see stories like on X and stuff like that where China has a huge influence on the south side of Australia, and it's like I don't know. Do you see a lot of that? Like, do you see any of that at all?
So for us, China is one of our main exporters. Um, we have a 4 billion a year industry in sheep, lamb.
So,
Um,
Mm.
US, China, and the Middle East are the biggest purchasers for our exported meat, beef and lamb. Beef is
nice.
one of our top exports. At 70% of our beef is actually sent to international market.
We
Mm-hmm.
could be getting doof meat, dude.
So
Well, I
US,
mean,
Japanese, and Korea, they all love our beef.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome to be a
Australian
main beef
Wagyu,
exporter.
I've heard of for sure.
So
Oh
I
yeah.
think they
the
have a
reason
good,
we export so much is because of the high production versus domestic consumption. It
yeah, that's amazing.
we we have more than enough land um, to produce these beautiful cattle. So which we do so.
Nice. That's awesome. So, is your country? Is it divided by states, territories? Is it just cities? How is Australia divided?
Yeah, we're divided into states. Some of our states are 3 times as big as your states. Um,
Okay.
however,
Oh,
70,
is that
60
how it
to
is?
70% of the population are on the coast.
Right.
So there's a
Oh,
minority
so
of our
you're like
population
Canada.
who lives inland. So the further you go inland, the hotter it gets. So,
Uh-huh.
for instance, I'm
Oh.
two, I'm 2 hours off the east coast, and once you get to say 6 hours off the east coast, you're looking at a temperature difference of 10 degrees, and
So
that's
So
it's
both
like
top and bottom.
Canada, where everybody's living on the outside.
Basically, yes.
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's a desert once you go too
And the
far
middle's
inland.
rough. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing there. A lot of camels and kangaroos. That's about it.
Nice.
Spiders.
What kind of is it mostly desert then everywhere there instead of
Uh,
grassland, or is there a lot of grasslands too?
it's not classed. We do have a small desert, however, it's not classed as a desert. We class it as the outback. It's basically just red dirt. Um,
Uh-huh.
our soil is a volcanic rich red. Once you get past
Is that
the
why?
ranges, we have a sorry.
It's nothing. I was just saying. Is that why we have Outback steakhouses?
Most probably.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? Never
I
put
don't.
two and two together, dude.
Yeah, they're definitely Outback Steakhouse was a representation of Australia. Now, whether they served Australian food, I don't know about that, but I think they have like a little
They
kangaroo or
should.
something in their emblem or something like that. I can't
I should
remember.
be able to go there and get kangaroo. Do you eat kangaroo?
I guess that being
we
said, you
can
don't have
eat kangaroo.
Outback there.
Personally, I do not eat kangaroo, Keith.
It's like a dog, right?
Um, no, not quite.
Okay.
Well, more
Yeah.
like a
I mean,
horse,
I'm
I would
just taking
say.
shots here, man.
I actually love my dog.
Well,
Well,
yeah, no, well, that's what we're saying, that they're just like
Yeah.
two
No, so we are one of the
personality
countries
to eat.
that eat both animals on our coat of
I
arms.
don't
We
know.
both eat
Just a thought,
kangaroo
man. I
and
don't know.
emu.
I've never seen a kangaroo.
Yeah,
Now,
so
emus, I don't like, dude. Emus seem dangerous to me, dude.
jumping back to that point that you made about
Kangaroos are quite
population,
dangerous. Yes, sir.
Doof.
Yes, sir.
So, in order to keep it that way, now we've had mass migration here, and I know that it's happened in other places. I think it's worse in some places in Europe than it even is here, and it's happened here a lot. What do they do? What do you guys do there to control a mass population of migrants coming, or do they not want to come where you're at? Is it not fruitful or productive,
Is
or
it
do you have
because of the
laws
Okay,
spiders?
that control it?
it it is quite productive for migrants to come
Mm-hmm.
to Australia, especially if you have skills. However,
Yeah,
you must pass a criteria, obviously, as to enter our country as an immigrant. However, they have changed the laws in the last few years, which allows one person to come over for a certain amount of time and then have their family return with them the next time,
gotcha.
which has led to an influx of Middle Eastern, Sudanese,
Yeah.
Chinese.
But do these people
Um,
become citizens of the country, or do they always just stay
Yeah.
foreigners?
so after a period of time, the visa, obviously, upon which visa they've applied for, after a period of time, they can apply for a citizenship. However, that's not guaranteed. Um, Yep. So
Yeah.
it's a process.
And then
Definitely
is
is a
there a
So
lot
process.
you're
of
illegal immigrant.
is there a lot of illegal immigration then coming besides the legal, or do you guys control
Negative
that
on
pretty
the
well?
negative on our navy. Pretty much has that under wraps.
They
We
they
haven't had a
pretty
boat.
Yep.
have a
We
handle
haven't had
to it.
any boat.
Nice. And
Yes,
that
sir.
I
We
mean
haven't
that's
had any.
simple, right?
Yep. So yeah, many years ago there was a few coming from our closest neighboring country, the Philippines.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Wow.
However, that was 8 to 10 years ago, which
Boy,
now
have I got a story to
unfortunately,
tell you.
sorry, Keith. Yeah, which
I'm just
unfortunately
kidding.
has now led to one of our islands being a detention center for illegal immigrants.
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
they're
it
ahead of the
happened
game,
Yeah.
quite a
dude. They
bit
got
then.
Gator.
It happened quite a
So
bit
they got
then,
We
where
just
they
did that in the
a
Everglades,
small
dude.
island, small island to keep them on. Yeah.
well, there you go. But I mean, that makes sense, right? We support immigration that helps the country and immigration that doesn't help the citizens of the country. Why would you want that? So I don't know, but sometimes we have a little confusion with that here. I don't know if you heard what happened here. They kind of just anybody who was saying that
Open
they
the door.
needed, yeah, they just anybody who said, "Hey, I'm having a hard time," they just kind of let them in. And I think it was a huge mistake. But everybody has their own opinion on it. But I think that that's what keeps it to where you can do like the things you're saying, where you can actually take care of your citizens very
Yes.
well. And I think that growing your
Have
own
that
meat
thing
like
humming.
that, there's a safety thing there where it just feels a lot more safe knowing that your meat's coming from local right here, safe, not outside, not made in a laboratory, not outsourced, not pumped with chemicals, all those things. So
Because, Doof, I'll give you an example. I have select grocery stores that I don't buy meat specifically from because of the way that, I don't want processed meat anyway. But as far as breakfast meat goes, you just can't buy meat from certain stores here in America at all.
I
I mean,
understand.
because
I'm
of the
exactly the same, Pete.
quality. Yeah. And I didn't, yeah, that's kind of cool that it's affecting you too. I mean, not cool, but,
it's very
it's
similar.
noticeable,
Yeah, so far, even though
and
we're different, it seems like we have a lot of similarities in the way things happen in our countries.
yeah,
It's
and I
just,
was
it sounds
curious
like a little smaller scale.
of what type of immigration you were getting, because we were getting a lot of Haitians, Venezuelans, of course, people from Mexico, but Honduras, all of that. Um, and it was getting real crazy real fast in our inner cities, where the videos you see of inner cities, it's like, man, and now it's to the point to where people used to go on vacation in big cities in America. And now it's like, you don't even want to be there. I can't even get a speeding ticket in the state next to me. I could go to jail.
Uh, just a quick pop in here. Ken had a question. Do you know of any opal mines near you? And does it help the economy in Australia?
Oh, it's a question for me.
Yes, yes, that was from Ken. That was a
Yes, sir,
question for
Toots.
you.
Yes, sir, Toots. Opal mining, okie dokie. Yes, you need a mining lease. So I'm a pretty keen fossicker myself, which
So it's
means I like
pretty
to find
common there, huh?
stones. And yes, sir. We have pretty gem-rich country, from opals to
Wow.
sapphires. Yes, sir. Opal mining. It's a pretty niche market. If you don't have the money to be in it, there's no money to be made. However, for recreational fun, it's a great pastime. You need a mining license, and it costs you quite a lot just to dig into the ground. Not guaranteed to find anything. So
Oh boy. We've got shows for that.
Well, there you go, Ken.
yes, yes.
So nice, very nice,
So as
very
a
nice.
recreational miner, you can dig down in the ground a meter, I presume. Other than that,
Wow,
you need to be classed as a heavy miner, which you can use excavators and stuff, and you can dig down 30 something meters, I do believe.
really? And that's for the whole country is under that rule.
Wow.
In designated areas, that's correct. You
Yeah,
can't just go
wow.
digging up anywhere you like.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I
But
can
you could
definitely
That's
dig
go
up
digging.
that's
I'm
as
pretty
deep in
sure I
your
could just
yard,
start
right?
digging a hole where I'm at in my yard and end up, who knows where
Yeah,
coming out, maybe
right?
somewhere near you. We might pop
They
out right
can't
next to you or
stop me
something.
from digging a hole, right?
I don't think here they don't
yeah,
do
I'd be
that
don't
here if
around.
damned.
you're on your own property. You can go as far down as you can go.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, oh, well,
Wow. I
touching
got
on
two
that
wells on my property, dude.
on that
Nobody tell me
same
nothing.
topic, so what does the political structure look like in your country? Do you have a president, a king? What's going on there?
I'm sorry, Cheats, but
What's
I don't
going
have
on
a
there, dude?
political opinion.
No, not an
No, no,
opinion.
your opinion, just like what's
Just
in
like
charge there? A
what's the
president
political
or
structure?
a
Yeah. Do you
is
know?
it
And
We
if
a
you
we
don't
have a
know, it's
prime
constitution? Is it
okay.
we have a prime
monarchy?
minister.
You have
Yes,
a
we're
prime
run under
Oh,
minister.
okay, yeah. So it's
monarchy.
like Canada.
We have a
Got you.
president. That's correct.
Okay.
Got you. Sorry, we're just
Cool.
oblivious to anything. Like I said, dude, you don't get
Yeah.
nothing but America when you're in America.
Yeah. I don't really
It's
I'm
know
all
sure
good.
it's the
anything at
same.
all. So, yeah.
You
So
know.
it's ran with a prime minister, and that is the supreme ruler of the country or the head of the government.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. And do they
Yeah, I
are
can.
they pretty much all
I don't know.
powerful
Yes.
like a king, or is it more like a president? They're elected and everything, and they only have a little bit of
Yes,
control.
there's an election. There's
Hmm.
usually between two major parties in our country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you
Okay.
know those
Cool.
parties offhand?
Are these like liberal?
I do, yes, Liberal and Labor.
Oh, okay. The Liberal and the Labor Party. Interesting. I was just curious what you guys called your
There are
parties there.
many,
No,
many
that's
more.
there are, but those
Yeah.
are the two
Okay.
majors.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's very
All
similar
right.
here
Cool. Cool. Cool.
to Republican and Democrat, and then many, many parties all in
Yeah, because over
between and
here
on
it's
all sides.
wild. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's buck wild over here, dude.
Well, it's gotten a lot more wild. It didn't used to always be like that. We've gotten into a
We're
whole
starting to rein
nother.
it in.
It's really become a social media country over here, which is really sad. So it was good to hear you say that
Yeah.
you don't really use social media there. Do you see a lot of social media influence though in other people in the youth over there?
Myself, I have a teenage boy. So yes, that answer to that is yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you
I
try
would bet
and
so, dude.
you
It's
try and
hard.
you try and teach him though that that's not that don't look to the device for everything, to find it within
Oh, of
yourself
course, dude.
and away
I,
from the
I,
phone,
I
I
call
Yeah.
it
assume.
the old school influence.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. No, I
Nice.
agree. But it's unstoppable. I mean, it's
You having
because
a trade?
once they see what's in those
Sorry.
phones. But anyway, yeah, go ahead, Keith. Sorry.
Yeah, you
That
having
is
a
my trade,
trade the
Kev.
way you do. Yeah,
Yep.
you having a trade the way you do is so awesome because like you're able to create every day. That itself is,
Yeah.
amazing. See,
Did
I
Doof say?
create outside of
Did you
my
ever
work. I have
say
to go to
what
work.
you did, Doof, on here? I don't know if you told the people what you do.
Yeah.
What is it
Yeah,
you
I
do?
mean I introduced it whenever he
Oh, you
said,
did.
I
Okay.
don't want to go
Sorry.
through it again, but yeah. I don't know if he wants that out there, but um for him to be able to create that create every day, that's awesome because I go into work and I'm like, I feel like I'm just locked in to where I have to be here and I can go outside and create, with Toots' channel or content or something like that. That's where I find it. And it's cool that you're able to drive your family that way. That
Yes, sir.
really
Thank
helps
you
the
very much.
most.
And put some effort in, and effort comes back.
That's what
Yeah.
happens, dude. You got to not do things for the money and the money will come, you know.
And we were raised at a different time, Doof. I'm sure that it was similar there. We kind of were that before computers growing up, and then computers came during our lifetime, and technology has showed
Yeah.
up during our lifetime,
Yeah.
and we've
You've
kind of
seen
seen both
AOL come
sides
and
of it.
go.
Yeah, and we've seen both sides of it. So we have kind of maybe the only we'll be the last group that has a perspective like us, and everybody
I'm
else will
pretty sure
just
you're
have
right,
lived
Doof.
with the technology,
Yep.
and they'll never know what it was like before technology. And it's, I don't want to say it's sad because it is, but just think about how wild that is to in just another generation, they won't even know life before a cell phone. So
People get so used to being watched as soon as they get the chance to not be watched. That's it. It's going to be that type of situation, I think, in the future, where you always got to have a camera somewhere. You're always going to have a camera because if you don't, then they're going to take advantage of the situation because there's no camera. Because everybody's used to having cameras. Anyways, that's
So
not the
how is
point.
yeah, so how are the friendliness down there? Is it very neighborly? Do you guys look out? Is it real close knit, or is there a lot of separation and division between the people there? Or
I ignore my neighbor.
In my community, I've got both my neighbors' phone numbers. Um, it's
nice.
a it's a safety net as well, mate.
Do, for example,
Um,
I ignore.
All right. Not sure what's going on, but I think I lost everybody there.
Yeah, I thought I was breaking up. I didn't know,
am
dude.
I
Oh
back?
yeah. Okay.
There he
Yep.
is.
Everybody's
Yep, you're
back.
back.
I think we just had a little disconnect
Oh
there.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to expect it considering we're talking across the world right now. How cool is that? That we're sitting here, Doof is sitting there with his people all the way across the world in Australia. We're here in the US right now. I mean, absolutely amazing. Not to mention me and Keith
Our
are in two
toilets
different
spin
parts of the US.
opposite directions, dude.
Yep. One spins left, one spins right. It's absolutely, and they all meet in the middle. You know what I mean? They all
Yep.
come together no matter what. Now, this is really amazing. So, if we have a little technical difficulty in that, sorry about that, but it is just the way it is. I still think it's absolutely amazing that we're able to do this. So,
Everyone knows your poop goes to the middle of the earth. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So
I mean, it's just one of them things I was curious about, And over here, I have an old truck, but it's like, dude, I can't buy a new car over here. Those things are crazy expensive, and I just can't do it. I can't do it and have a family and do all that. Oh, heck no. I'd get eaten alive, you know? So I don't know. It's just, and over there, the way that you're able to control, the immigration and everything, the way you guys do, that's got to be amazing because then you can have something uh, creative. You can have competition. Like before, you were saying that you got two competing forces for your food, and that right there is huge because we're losing competition. As soon as we start
Having
bailing out
said that, Keith,
companies,
sorry to
as
interrupt.
no, you're good.
go ahead.
Having said that, the two major companies, the downfall for that is that there's no competing for sales, which means they're actually driving up their prices slowly. So, for
Absolutely.
instance, milk may
See,
have gone up
yeah,
80 cents in the last 6 months, but nobody's noticed.
Yeah.
that's see,
So, and once one gets away with it, the other one does the same. So it's
Absolutely.
basically they're competing for sales, but not only doing that, they're supposed to drive down prices. They don't. They actually drive them upwards because
Yeah,
they
and
have
that's a
the
yeah,
shame.
demand and the supply.
Yeah, and that comes with corporate whenever a corporation takes over and it stops being about the people and it starts being about the money, and we see that here a lot. They just basically don't care about you anymore. And I was going to ask about that. Do you guys manufacture cars there of some kind?
We actually
use.
manufacture two cars. Oh, no, we do not anymore. So we moved our companies to China. We moved
Ah,
our companies to China in the 2000s, I believe. We
Oh
had
boy,
two major car companies,
oh,
Ford and Holden.
okay.
Um, so yeah, we
we
made
just got ours
a
back,
Ford,
dude.
yeah, Ford for many
Yeah,
years, and then our iconic Holden. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so
we just got a
I
brand new
don't believe we
Bentley.
produce any cars in Australia anymore.
Holden was the
We just got a brand new
original
Bentley plant,
Australian.
dude.
Holden's from Australia, correct? They were made and invented there.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Until
right.
Yeah.
until yes, that's correct. So my little
Hmm.
cartridge that I'm doing up is an old Holden.
Yeah, nice, very nice. That's amazing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Did you send us? You should send us a picture in the Discord chat
will do.
sometime so we can see it. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'd really like to see that. But yeah, so and with moving that, did you see a hit? How long ago did it happen that they moved those manufacturers out of the country?
Don't hold me to this, but somewhere between 2005 2010.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so you were well
Yeah.
aware what was
So
going
right
on.
around
So
our vehicle fucking bailout, right?
was there a lot of people that got negatively
Oh,
affected by those?
hundreds of thousands of people lost jobs in
Yeah.
three
Oh
Wow.
major
yeah.
factories across our whole
Wow.
country. Yep,
So in doing that,
there was
did
a
they
big
have
deal.
something set up for the people, or did they just let them suffer and say find another job and figure it out?
Yeah, pretty much the second option.
Wow. So that's
Yeah,
tough.
it's
We have
like
that a lot with
it's like
factories here too. That's happened a lot. I've seen factories with
yeah.
thousands and thousands of employers go straight to Mexico, take their company to Mexico, and fire every single person that was in the
Yep.
U.S. off of there. So
So
unfortunately,
China
that's
bought the sorry, China bought
no.
the company
You're okay.
Holden.
Uh
They
huh.
moved their factory to Holden. We
Yep.
had one car produced from them, which
Mm.
the Aussies hated, purely
Yeah, I'll
because it
bet
was
so.
produced in China.
Of course.
Hmm.
So sales has plummeted, and we haven't seen a car from them since.
Yeah, you can't destroy
See,
someone's economy and company and then take the vehicle back and say, "Here, now buy this. That we ruined you guys.
Correct.
Now here's the car
Correct.
that ruined you. Go ahead and buy it." No,
yeah,
that
it's
doesn't
kind of like
work.
what happened to us where we were buying BMWs, and it's like, man, BMWs are held to a high standard over here. Like you got a nice car, you've got a BMW, and then in Germany, they're not buying any Silverados, but they throw around BMWs like shopping carts. So it's I don't know, man. Yeah,
So we have
that
all
whole
the major car
situation's fucked up.
companies as sales. We don't. So we do sell all the American cars: Dodge, Ram,
Right.
Silverados, Chevrolet.
Yeah.
We do have car companies
Nice.
that sell those cars, but no manufacturers.
Yeah. And you get all those imported in from
Yeah.
wherever I guess they come from
That's correct.
all over the place. So that's nice. And you kind
All
of
over the world.
But
it,
That's
it's
correct.
yeah, and you're kind of in that area where you've got a lot of countries that are basically the same distance from you with a lot of different
fighting
options.
for your courtship, essentially.
Yeah. For that matter, we've
Pretty
got
much
Canada and
somewhat a
Mexico.
middleman on the southern hemisphere.
Yeah. We've
Yeah,
got Canada and
and
Mexico sitting
but
on our
China's
border.
China.
Other than that, everything else is pretty far away.
Yeah, yeah. See, and that's what my question at the start was like, who has the most influence on you guys, China, Russia, or America? And I think, it has to be China. And
Yep,
and then it's
definitely.
like, yeah, and it's like, okay, so that's noted. I don't, usually see, you know, that, and like I'm trying to think what other countries, I don't know. It's kind of that's a difficult thing to
Yeah.
figure out. I had to do some reflection on that one, but
Well,
yeah, it's
let me
that's kind of
ask
cool,
let me ask this
just to
since
see that.
we're kind of on the topic of schools and stuff here. What is do you guys have the same trend of the LGBTQ community where it's really growing a lot? Do you see that same trend there?
Short
Oh.
answer, yes.
Yes. Okay. Same situation. So
Correct.
I think that we can see that when things are coming or things are changing, it's not just one place. It's not just happening here. That stuff happens, everywhere. And I think a lot of it, obviously, now is due to the ease of social media and computers and influence that's on there. So now everybody sees everything, and you're kind of not. Nothing shocks you anymore. And you kind of go, if it's not the most extreme thing, you're not cool on social. So it's kind of sad, but that's interesting that, the same things that are affecting us here are just affecting you guys there just the same. Not that it's affecting in a negative or a positive way, just the situations that are happening. So unless you see it that way, and everybody has
As
entitled
a
to their
young
opinion,
as a younger
obviously.
self.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a younger self, it did affect me a lot.
Yeah.
As a grown adult, I tend to look over these things now.
Right.
I don't know if I've just chilled out in my old age, or a
Yeah.
lot of that stuff doesn't bother me anymore. However, it would have many years ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, one thing that I've learned for sure is that no matter whether it bothers me or not, I can't stop it. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen,
You have such a
and
cool profile picture.
you have to just not take it personally and stay angry about anything at all.
It's
And
I'm a true believer in that as well. What
yeah,
doesn't directly affect me should not affect me.
absolutely, 100%, because it truly doesn't, except in your mind. If you let it control you in your mind, then it's
Agreed.
got a hold of you. But if you don't let it control you in your mind, it has no control over you. You can't do anything about anybody else or anywhere else in the world except for yourself. So, yeah. So in the same
That's true.
way, none of that affects me anymore. I don't even pay attention to it. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have any bearing on my life whatsoever. So each person does what they want to do, and that's fine. I think that influencing children, we may have a different, feeling about. I don't think it's cool to introduce things like that into schools and young children's minds. But I don't know if that's happening there or stuff, but other than that, I don't care what people do.
Well, the problem,
So
and I'll say this, right? The problem in America is that it kind of became its own religion, and that in itself, and they used that to push out Christianity and all this other things from school here, and it kind of just made a mess. It made a huge mess of things,
mm,
to where now it's like part of the population. They grew up doing the Pledge of Allegiance in schools. I didn't think it was a big
mm.
deal. But now it bothers people. But
And we didn't even
we don't
ask you.
have to get
Did
into
you?
all that.
What? Oh, and you don't have to give your specific if you don't want to. But what religious denomination are you? And what is the most of the people there? What religious denomination are the majority of the
We say,
population there?
yeah,
So the answer to your first question, Toots, is I have no religion.
Okay.
I'm brought up with no religion. The second question is
fair.
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay, nice.
I
Yeah.
don't have
Okay,
any influence
fair.
over religion at all. To be
So you
quite
wouldn't
honest, I
say
worship
your
the sun.
government?
As long as the sun comes up, I can get my shit
Hmm.
done every single day.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
I worship
Yeah.
the sun. If it's not for the sun, we all wouldn't be here. Sun is the thing for life.
Well, that's true for sure. And so you don't ever just reflect on where we came
So you're
from?
Aztecan. Worship
Zero,
sun
zero,
god.
Zero.
zero
Yeah, it's a
percent.
waste of time, right? It's not even like, what does that even matter? Reflecting on something like that, it's not like you'll ever know. And so, what's the point in wasting your thought on it? So, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. Did your
That's a
family
fair point, dude.
do they have the same philosophy as you when it comes to that? Like more like your
No, Doof.
parents' side,
That's
not your
they.
youngest, but like your parents' side.
No, they pretty much had zero influence.
Oh, really? Are they religious?
No, sir.
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. All right, got you. So yeah, very
Hmm.
interesting. And that may
Nice.
be
All right.
and you find that a lot of people are like you in that way there, that religion isn't so much of a overwhelming culture there amongst the people?
It definitely is, but
Not in your
I
world?
can't say that I've yet. Not in my world.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There's
Yeah.
a
So
there's a
you but you
church there's
see
a
it.
church for every religion on every second street. I
Right.
got two
Right.
churches in my block.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure what they are. Don't ask me what they are, but
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's
Well,
a
I
lot of churches here too. Yeah. It's something to
yeah.
do with taxes.
I
I'm
do
sure.
find that most of the time, not all the time, not all the time, but most of the time, that when someone is religious, they're also the first to judge you. So, um, we don't base stuff off of whether you go to church or not around here. That's for sure. So, but we
Yeah.
are very similar in that
And
way in the fact of if you don't go to church, you're almost certainly judged where we're at. If you're not, in that world, then they're judging you from that world. So, uh, I don't agree with that. Obviously, I think that is it's just as bad as the sinner if you're judged. Doesn't matter if you go to
it
church 10
happens a lot.
times a week.
Dude.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if you go to church every single day. When you judge, you're just as bad as the sin. You're exactly the same. There's no difference. So it's best to just live good and live well, like what you're saying, than to try and be religious. I would even say don't be religious to a lot of people because
Yes, sir.
that tricks your head and it will get you somewhere that you don't need to be. And instead of just doing what's right and living right, making sure your kids are taken care of, making sure that just you're living your day to day in the right way as a decent person, doesn't even have that surely doesn't have to be perfect. Just not you're not out hurting people and doing awful things. Then I think you're doing the right thing. So. And I think that simplifying that can help a lot with that. And I think we make it very complex when we add religion because then we get into our intelligence and we get into thought and then we start saying, well, what does that mean? And then that's where we go, well, everybody's got an opinion on what it means, right? Nobody can agree on what things mean. And it's because everybody's in their own mind about it. So I respect that a lot that you don't let stuff like that, affect you there. So that's really awesome.
you seem like
Thanks.
you're pretty stand forward on things like, you don't let social media in, you don't let anybody with the sun god in. It sounds pretty good, dude. I mean, you sound like a pretty just like the people that we want to attract to hang out with, every day. You know what
That's
I'm
right.
saying?
That's right. People just like
Appreciate
us.
that, boys. Love
Yeah.
hanging out on YouTube with you.
Oh man, it's awesome, and we love having you, and we love having you in the chat, and hopefully we can play some more because that was really fun. I think the last time we did anything was on DayZ back a while back, but it was a great time, and we always enjoy having you doing that kind of stuff. I know I think you mentioned motorcycles earlier. Do you guys what's your brands of motorcycles that you have there? You have all the commons,
We got them
Honda,
all. We got
Kawasaki.
them all.
You got
Yep,
everything. Yeah,
yep, yep,
nice.
yep.
Nice. And what style of bike you said you like riding bikes? What style of bike do you prefer?
I've had probably 20 different motorcycles over my lifetime.
Oh, really? Wow.
Um, everything,
Nice.
yeah, everything from dirt bikes to road bikes.
Uh-huh.
My most favorite motorcycle that I ever owned is actually an American motorcycle called a Buell.
Oh, wow. Cool. I think weren't they made by Harley Davidson
Yes,
or
sir,
a
they
part
are
of
made
them?
by Harley Davidson. In the 2000s, I bought a 2004 model. It was a Harley Davidson engine in a sports bike. It's
Yeah. That's really cool. Now, I think they went out of business, didn't they? Or they ended that brand?
Yes,
Or
that's right. Yeah, yep.
yeah,
So
yeah.
the
So really neat though. Yeah,
engineer.
I also had a Harley. I had a 2000 and was it a 2006? I believe it was. No, maybe it was in 08. I can't remember now. It's been a while, but I had a Road King, custom, really cool, just a bagger. I think that was the 96 cubic inch engine that they had in those at the time. And it was an absolute ripper. I loved it. Ended up selling it just because, man, I ended up paying so much for insurance and upkeep, and only being able to ride it for the little bit that I did. I wasn't worth it to me anymore. So I don't have any motorcycles anymore, but I do love them as well. That was definitely
Yeah,
my favorite bike that I ever had. Obviously, really nice bike,
yeah,
but I prefer dirt bikes or an enduro style of riding and just keeping it off road than I do riding on the roads anymore. So
Yeah, the
yeah.
first
That's
bike I
cool
had
too.
was a 250 Yamaha, and it was too big. But
Same.
and
two
then I had
stroke or a
another
four
dirt bike,
stroke?
but it was all Chinese.
Was it a two stroke or a four
But
stroke, Keith? Do you know?
what the
The dirt
Yamaha?
bike. Yeah,
Oh, I have no idea, dude. I just
no
got on
idea.
and rode it.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got
But
real
and I
big
got a
into two
98
strokes for a
Softail.
long time.
I
Yeah.
got a 98 Softail under a tarp next to me. So that's it. Just dirty.
Time to get it out and get it cleaned up and get riding it.
Mm, supposed to.
He says, nah.
Got
Nice.
other things
So
to
do you
do. Got
guys
to pull
have
the
two
boat out of the
separate
woods.
licenses?
Yes, we have to have. Well, in my state, you get a motorcycle endorsement on the driver's license. But I basically keep it forever.
Okay.
Once I have one forever. I don't ever have to have
Yep,
another test
same.
or anything. Yeah.
That's correct.
So
Yep.
yeah, really nice. It was easy. Here you do have to go and take the test on a motorcycle and do a whole little riding course that they put you through and stuff.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. So yeah,
That's
very
a good thing.
similar. Yep. Oh, absolutely. No, you definitely got to know how to ride. I will say that
Yeah, you gotta get
taking the
sponsored.
taking the course on a small, easy to use bike is the way to do it. You don't want to take your Harley up there for your test. You don't want to take your giant sport bike up there for your test. It's just they're so touchy, and you need to have like really good slow riding control, and it's very tough. A lot of it was slow riding. Was that the way it was for you? It's very slow stuff. They make you like turn slow and maneuver slow.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Emergency braking, stuff like
yeah,
that. Yeah.
absolutely.
Most places have a little rental bike that you can do it with, a little moped or something.
They do
It's best to
now.
do it
They
with your
didn't
own
when I
bike,
first
'cause then
started.
you know your motorcycle.
Yeah. But you're right. They do have a lot of used, where you can use the bike now on it. But I agree with you, Doof. If you don't, every bike is different. And yeah, I mean, of course, you jump on a sport bike, you jump onto another sport bike, they're very similar. But when you go from a road bike to a sport bike to a dirt bike, I mean, it's totally different feel on there. And especially when it comes to turning, with a sport bike, and if you have like clip-on handlebars where it's a real small handlebar area, you don't turn the wheel. In fact, you turn the wheel the opposite way on those bikes to get it to turn, because there's so much, you lean into it more, and you do it with the road bikes too, but it's just a different feel. So I agree. Doing it with your own bike, knowing your own bike will help you a million times over when taking those tests. It's not easy.
Yes, Suze, I agree 100%. I made the mistake of buying a motorcycle that was way too heavy for myself.
Yeah.
And yes, 100% realized that for my body to weight ratio versus motorcycle was way out of whack.
Absolutely. Yeah, even like I said
That's
with my
one thing to
Road
keep an
King.
eye on.
Yeah, that was a very similar thing with my Road King. I didn't take the test on my Road King, obviously, but I did know that the bike was much bigger than I was. I could handle it. It was fine. But I mean, if I had to, stop and grab the bike and chirp it up and stand right back up, this thing was coming down. I had to keep it balanced, and I had to make sure I was, always on top of it, because if you let your guard down for a second, it'd be tipping over. But they have big, like the kind of like, what do they call those big roll bars that stick out on the side? I can't remember what they're called, but
Crash bars.
it's got, just the crash bars on it. So if it did drop over, it wasn't the end of the world. But no, I definitely felt the weight of a bike is much different, as opposed to, like I had a little GS, a little Suzuki GS 500. And man, I swear, like I could almost pick that thing. I definitely pick up the back half of it, then turn around and pick up the front half of it and put it on something. You know, I could. It's much better doing it on a bike like that, where you can control the bike to your size. In fact, a funny story: my very first bike, I was going to buy a Kawasaki Ninja 250, right? And this guy had it where I worked at, and he was like, "Hey, take it home, check it out." He'd have been sitting around for a while. He wasn't riding. He's like, "Take it home, check it out, come back tomorrow if you want it." Buy. It was like $1,500 or something. Very good deal for what it was. It was in really good shape. Drove it home. Was on the way back to work the next morning because I worked with this guy, and something happened, and it threw a rod or a chunk of a rod out of the bottom of the oil pan, and so it knocked about a quarter size hole in the bottom of the oil pan and started leaking oil. And that's the only reason I knew something happens, because all of a sudden I was ice skating on this little 250. I tried to take off, and I mean, this thing's like blowing the tire off. I'm like, what the hell? This thing isn't that powerful. Something's going on. So yeah, so I pulled over, checked it out, called him. Of course, I told him about it, and the guy was really cool about it. I mean, he knew I wasn't like dogging on it or anything. It's just unfortunate what happened, So I was like, well, I feel bad, so let me take it down to my buddies, let him look at it and see if we can fix it for you. So I took it down to my friend's house, and he looked at it. He was basically like, nah, this thing's ruined. It's toast. Busted. It's just not worth it to fix it, basically, is all he was saying. And so I left, and as I was leaving, I pulled out onto the highway and had to slam on the brakes, broke all the straps on my trailer. Bike comes flying off the trailer, hits the asphalt, just starts tumbling down the asphalt. I mean, this is some other dude's bike that I was just test driving, you guys. It was an absolute nightmare of a situation. I mean, at that point, after it come off the trailer, I called the guy and I was like, you know what, man? It's just not my day. I'm leaving the bike here. I'll pay for it if you want me to have it towed or whatever, but just come get it. If you want it, come get it. I'm not touching this thing again. I'm obviously jinxed. And, that was the nice thing about dealing with people that are very wealthy. He was totally cool about it. He's like, you know what, bud? I didn't have any insurance to cover. All I had was liability. There was no way to get it from the insurance. He knew I was taking care of 2 kids and barely making it. That's why I needed a motorcycle to drive back and forth to work. And so he was really good about it. Thank God. I mean, shout out to my guy out there. I won't mention his name, but thank you for being decent, being a decent human being. He never asked me for a penny. He just told me, he said, hey, man, if someday you see me and you can pay me back for it, fine. And if not, fine too. We won't even worry about it. He never asked me about it again. So
cheers to that bloke.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes you
fucking
find good people.
insane, dude. I'm just busting out laughing over here. God, dude, you just took some dude, some poor guy trying to sell his bike. Here comes two. It's fucking
Man,
yeah,
I
go
felt
ahead,
awful.
man.
Yeah.
Oh,
I felt really bad.
You got the straps from the $2 shop. Dollar mark.
Yeah. No, I they were cheap straps, but I mean, they weren't ready for the type of pressure that was coming off that trailer when I hit those brakes. Basically, someone just pulled out right in front of me and I completely locked it up, and everything stopped but the motorcycle. It just kept right on going down the highway, dude. Past me. I saw the son of a bitch go flipping next to me down the side of the highway. I knew right then. I was like, oh no, this is bad. This is so bad, you guys. So, yeah.
God.
Hey, stuff happens, do you have anything interesting like that ever happen to you, Doof?
Yeah, speaking of decent human beings, I haven't I haven't come across one yet. I had a motorcycle accident. I had a lady pull out in front of me on my motorcycle.
Whoa.
I didn't come in contact with her. However, I jumped on the brakes. The bike done what I told it to do, and that was stop. Handlebars went hard right. I broke my right wrist into 8 pieces.
Oh, jeez.
I now live with two plates, 4 screws, and 3 pins.
Damn.
The lady never stopped. Yeah, in my right wrist, I broke the radial bone into 8 pieces, which they call a
Is it
committed
hit and
fracture.
run, basically?
I didn't actually hit the lady, so she had no reason to stop. However, she was the cause of it.
Yeah.
So I lost my faith in humanity a little bit there.
Absolutely.
That's insane, dude.
After 3 months off work, bit of recovery, 2 surgeries.
Yeah.
I'm all right.
Amazing.
And it did not affect my trade one bit. I still go to
you're
work
really
every
fortunate.
day. I do.
Absolutely, very
I
fortunate.
do have limitations now.
Of course, with anything like that. but it's just good that you're still able to do it and continue what you were doing. It didn't take you out of the workforce, because that's how easily it happens. Next thing you know, you can't stay bent over to where you have to, or you can't hold on to something like you needed to with your wrist issues. So, and that's a dangerous area when you work with your hands. So, but I know somebody that exact scenario happened to, just like that. They swerved to avoid the crash, ended up having to pay everything out of pocket, even though someone drove into their lane, would have hit them head on. And the insurance company literally told them, next time hit them, because you're not getting anything since you swerved and missed it. Yeah. Wow. That's so sad. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, classed as. So 2 things that you must do if you ever have an accident in Australia is call the police and get a police report. Because without a police report, the insurance company won't even look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's same here.
And so that was my mistake. However, I lost the skin down the left-hand side of my body. I picked up my motorcycle with a
You're
fractured
telling
wrist
me that you broke your hand, and
back
your first thought wasn't, "Hey, let me create a police report."
I didn't actually know that I had broken my wrist. I actually picked up my motorcycle and rode another 5 kilometers back to my parents' house.
Yeah.
Funny
Shock
story that,
takes
dude.
over.
My dad grew up on dirt bikes and stuff like that. You know, he raced and everything, like dirt bike raced. My whole family raced, and so he wasn't supposed to have his dirt bike or something. He was grounded about something, right? And he wrecked it, broke both of his arms same time, and he pushed his dirt bike all the way back to the house and hit it so he wouldn't get in trouble.
Broke both of his arms.
Both of his fucking
That's
arms
adrenaline.
at the same
Yeah,
time.
that's adrenaline, boys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's amazing what you can
I mean,
do
my
when
dad's
you're
special, bro. He ran out. He outran the cops on a motorcycle when he got kicked out of the house at 18, and he ended up getting caught because when he came home, he drove through the neighbor's rose bushes and she called the cops on him. So, cops were like, "Oh, hey, yeah." Spent 5 days in jail.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I mean, not Doof, are you good? I know you said that you had some stuff to do. I just want to make sure that you're okay time wise.
I got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes up my sleeve, too.
Absolutely, no worries. I think. Well, I mean, if there anything else that you want us to know, is there anything any stories you'd like to tell us, or just anything in general that you'd like to talk about?
Is there anything you want to know
I've got a lot
about
of stories,
like our economy? Probably not, right?
Sorry, the US.
What are your hobbies, dude?
My work, my old
So you
car,
don't
my family.
like play golf or anything like that? I mean, yeah, your car.
I like golf, but I can't play golf. I try.
Well, I'll give you a little secret, dude. Nobody can play golf. Okay.
Yeah. We all just whack away at it and just do the best we can.
Yeah, we all just go to just do
Why
it.
do we pay so much to smack a little white ball along the ground? Mine's not even in the air, mate. Mine's along the ground.
Oh no, he hit some worm burners. Yeah, no, and that's the funny thing though. It's just like anything else. If you want to be good at something, you got to do it every single day. And golf is no different, just like any sport or any activity, even just like working on your cars or whatever you're doing. If you're not doing it every day, you lose the touch. You just have to continuously do it. And then whether you're the best or not, that's a different story, but you'll be good at it if you do it every day.
But that's kind of cool that your work is your hobby, because that means you're actually like genuinely interested in it, dude. I bet you're the Tiger Woods of fucking doing up cars, dude.
Thank you. Thank you.
It is true. That's true.
I'll be doing a car up on GTA. I'm like, man, I gotta get Doof to come do this thing.
Keith, I'll send you some pictures. You'll be amazed, my friend.
Nice. I'll send you a picture of my dash, and you can tell me what you think, dude.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you that it's wrecked.
It's just carpeted with some holes in it, dude. It's the best sounding truck you ever heard, dude. I wish I had more than 4 gears.
More than 4 gears.
I've just put 5 feet in my little rig.
Gears.
In your one you're working on, Doof? In your one you're redoing? Sir. Nice. And is so what is the motor and transmission you put in it?
It's a Holden Gemini, and it is a 2-liter
What a cool
4-cylinder
name.
single overhead cam, 5-speed rear-wheel drive front engine
Very
That sounds
nice.
simple as fuck, dude.
Very nice.
That
sedan.
sounds
It
like not easy,
made
but
in the
just like
80s,
straightforward.
so it's easy. Yeah, quite easy.
Yeah. And you said
That's
this
like
is
a basic
naturally
350 then.
aspirated?
It's a carburetor. That's right, 32,
Yeah.
36 carburetor.
Not turbocharged, not supercharged, just naturally aspirated.
No, so as restoring an old car in Australia, you have to go back to original specs.
Nice.
They don't like modifications.
Okay.
And if
Very
you
interesting.
have modifications, you need an engineer certificate to allow that to be processed through the
Wow.
Department of Transport.
Oh boy.
Wow. Do you hear this, guys? Holy crap. They just
So-
let us throw
so-
any
I got
damn
a
thing at our
19
cars.
Hey, say your Ram blew up and you wanted to do an engine swap,
Yeah.
you'd have to then go and get an engineer certificate to allow you to do that.
Oh, I be damned.
Holy cow.
So you wanna remove your rear seats in your car and put speakers in there. You got to get an
Doof.
engineer certificate to do that.
What?
Dude, I've got a 1987
wanna raise
CJ
your
under a
four-wheel drive?
tarp.
You got to
Yeah.
get
If you
an
wanna what?
engineer certificate to do that.
To do
You want
what?
big
What'd you
wheels in
say?
the car?
Dude, it's
Big wheels? No
See,
way.
to
Yeah.
change your
You want-
rims,
yeah,
dude. To change
yeah.
your rims.
Up to 2 inches from the factory, so you can go 2 inches either side of factory without being
Excuse
affected.
me,
Holy
dude. That's
cow.
not. Oh,
That's
Yep.
all. That's rim. That's lift height. So that's tire plus
that's it, dude.
height. So
I'm
suspension
writing
height.
a letter to General
You can only
Mallon.
gain
So-
2
on
inches.
So is
his
it that
behalf.
there's
I
so
need
is there
rim freedom.
so is there no squatted
So for
trucks
my
out there?
truck,
Is there a whole
put
bunch
a-
of
No,
Southern
I'll put a
boy
2-inch lift.
engineers?
I'll put a 2-inch lift on mine, but no wheels. So I've
Okay.
had to keep
Wow.
my original wheels, and all I could do is put a 2-inch lift on it.
How
And
hard
is
are
that
your
like a
inspections?
so-
Do you have
no.
yearly inspections for your
Is that
car?
a-
One inspection when you buy
Per
the
year,
car
pay
upon
taxes.
registration. No, so different states is different. So the state I'm in, you register your car once, one inspection, and then you pay a yearly registration. It's up to
Oh,
you to
okay.
maintain the car. However,
But you
if
don't
you do
have to
get
have it
pulled up and they
inspected.
do find a defect, they don't just defect you, they'll actually take the car off the road.
Woo.
Oh, that's way worse.
You can-
Way worse, dude. Way
yeah.
worse. Way
And,
worse,
yeah,
dude. Let me explain. Let me tell you a little something, dude.
unregistered is even worse. Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something. Okay, I got 1987 CJ fucking what is it? Renegade out back under a tarp. Dude, seats aren't even bolted in. You can start it with a screwdriver, right? I could throw a battery in that bitch and take it to the store and say I bought it 3 days ago. Nobody would question anything, right? All my trailers, I don't have anything for them. I have no registration at all. You know? So, I mean, you just kind of float around. And granted, I'm not the most legal, but will I get in a lot of trouble? No. Are they for farm use? Yes. Yes, they are.
Well,
No matter
our
where I am,
inspections,
they're for farm use.
I don't know what they're
Yeah.
looking at there. Obviously,
doesn't fly.
they're probably looking at like making sure the frame's solid and things like that. I would think if they're doing one-time
Dude,
inspection. Here they
let me
only
tell
look
you-
at
let me-
like your tires, your brakes, common wear items basically. A CV axle, is what they're looking for. They don't go in and look for anything. If it works, like your headlights have to work, your blinkers have, like simple stuff like that, safety things. They don't look at
Yes,
any
correct.
real
Yeah.
deep issues here. Is that the same way they do it there?
Okay. No, definitely not.
Mhm.
So, for instance, my little car, or to get my little car registration on my little old car, it's going to cost me 3 times the amount as a normal car, being as it's from the 80s. No emissions control. So I'm paying for emissions control upon top
Mhm.
of
Oh,
registration. And
boy.
yes, so I could be paying
Doof.
$1,000 a year at least to keep that car on the road. As
Let me
for
Oh,
let
did
me
you
tell
say
you something, Doof.
1,000 a
the
year?
one time, the one-time inspection, and they'll be pretty nuts about it. They'll go over every single bolt, nut and bolt,
I've got to
rubber,
get my
fitting,
truck inspected.
oil leak, anything.
Really?
Oh,
So any
wow.
defect at all, they're not going to allow it.
Yes, and so after that inspection, you got registration. But if you do get pulled up on the road by the police, or what we have, road inspectors as well, which drive a
If you're leaking
van
oil,
around
dude.
with purple lights, that's correct. They'll pull you up if you're blowing smoke, leaking oil, blinkers missing,
Oh
shit like that.
boy,
Man.
You'll
straight to
definitely
jail.
Yeah.
you actually get a defect notice. They'll give you
Yeah,
30
that's what I was
days to
wondering.
fix
Nah,
the
they're
fix
taking
the
me to
No,
problem.
jail,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. That's what I was wondering if they
Second
get
time-
in
They're
there
taking
and
me to
see it.
jail. I
don't
blew a
think that's
tappet
only-
cover.
Because what
You
if
know,
you're
I'm-
driving and
I'm-
it just
I'm-
happened? I mean, you know, it's stuff
Just
just
blowing
happens.
smoke
Of
and leaking
course,
oil.
it's gonna. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
But Doof,
big time.
Doof, I got to take my O2. It's more than 20 years old, right? It's a diesel, so I got to go take it, get it inspected, pay the taxes, you know. And I won't even take my truck up there because the guy, I know he's 77 years old, you know, he's out there, you know, and I'll just take him my registration, and he'll go boop boop. There you go, it's $30. See you later, you know.
30
That's
bucks.
how it is.
I pay for my brand new car. I paid $45,000 for it.
Mhm.
I pay $2,000 a year for comprehensive insurance to cover that
Mhm.
40 grand. I also
Okay.
have, I also got the time out of the bloody car yard when it was brand new. I actually got $5 grand off the vehicle. But now in registration and inspections cost me another $2,000 on top of that vehicle when I bought it.
Now,
So is
I
there
will
a- is there a
say-
co-
Every year I pay $700 yearly.
Is there a set
will say-
inspection fee
Oh,
there?
sorry.
Is how much is the inspection fee? Is it set or is it different for every car and every situation?
Yes, that's correct. Different.
See here, it's basically set by state. So when I take my truck in, no matter what, $12.50.
Well, it's
Inspection's
more like
done.
Yeah.
$190.
Yeah, that's a big
$11.
difference.
They can't.
Oh yeah.
Their limit. They can only charge $30 back. That's it. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
So
And what they do here is they try and then upsell you for anything that, you know, they consider wrong or they don't pass
Yeah.
it. So got to be careful
dude,
about
I'll
that.
go even as far as if I like forget to do the taxes and stuff like that. My guy, I'll go there and he'll sign a paper saying that I had to fix a part,
Oh.
and they'll waive the fee for me.
Yes. So
in,
is
like-
your inspection ran by the government then, or is it ran by car shops, automotive shops?
His car
Inde-
shop,
inde-
his personal. I can
independent-
open his.
Independent.
mechanic,
Okay, so it's
that's
the
correct.
same. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
However,
Just
they
like what
have
we
to
got.
apply for a license
Yeah,
to do that.
yeah, we do too. It's the same thing. That's
Same
what I was
here.
curious about. Yeah.
Ha-
So
I want
like
to open
the,
my own.
when we're redoing cars though, now there is one stipulation I do know here that when you're like when a car you have to have it retitled, let's say it's, you know, something happened and the title's been deemed that the car is unusable, but you want to bring that car back to life, then you have that super inspection that you're talking about. You have to take it to the highway
Yeah.
patrol. They do like a 300 and some point inspection on it and decide whether it's roadworthy to give you a title back for it. That is one extra thing if you've lost, but if that title's good, it doesn't matter how shitty that car is. If you've maintained the title and it's good, you don't have to do that. You can do anything you want to, get it back as long as it'll pass inspection, you're good to go. But a lot of times, like if a car's been in an accident and you want to rebuild it and the title has been deemed a full loss, then you have to go back, take it to the special inspection. Then you're paying several hundreds of dollars. I don't know how much it is. And that's completely ran by the government, separate than the automotive inspections that like what we're saying.
It's
So-
very similar with my insurance. Very similar.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real ordeal when you're working on cars, but just the fact that you can't do any modifications as well. But I guess it kind of keeps the you know, mishap
Well, I was gonna say,
of people building up
um,
crazy cars and having accidents and stuff like that. Kind
You
of
still
controls
can. You
that
still
situation.
can do that. Don't get me wrong. We're a very cultured country.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
So
I've
here-
seen for sure.
We love our
You guys
burnouts
love
and
your
our skids
cars.
and our drift.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in here specifically, they had to ban squatting, and that was lowering the back end of your vehicle, and so that you were going down the street with your back end really low and you're up and high, right?
I've seen it.
So they had
I've
to make
seen
a
it.
law and ban it. Yeah,
yeah.
that was
Yeah.
low.
outlaw
But
is
there
two
really
inches.
is a safety
So-
concern there. You can't see
We can
over the
go-
hood.
We
It was
can
my
go 2 inches
people,
down
dude.
or 2 inches up.
Yeah.
It's my people. Yeah, I don't know how they don't spill their drinks.
No,
But-
it's
You're scraping your back number plate along the road.
yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And but your front end's like 6-inch lift or 8-inch or 12-inch lift or something on the front.
They banned it They banned it because you can't see driving around parking lots, dude. You can't see
No, you
below
can't see at all. You turn left or right, you can just run right over somebody. You can't see anything if it's right there in that front end blind spot over
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, when you
But
get
of course,
home, you
they
got a trolley stuck under your front suspension.
exactly. Yeah, you come home, you're just
But
pulling
that
stuff out from
but
under it. Yeah.
that type of control that you're
Free
talking about,
groceries.
dude, is starting to happen here because my dad was actually built a building recently at his house, and in order to get electrical, he had to get so many engineers to sign off on this and that. He had to pay $3,000 just for paperwork, just to say, hey, this is okay and this is okay. And and then he's installing it himself to save money, but then he's getting it certified by them. So it's like, man, that's starting to happen a good bit as well.
Yeah, a lot
It
of
keeps the
regulation.
quality though, Keith. Quality control.
That's true.
It can be, but it can also be, corruption of 5 people want to dip in for the same thing that one person could have done the job. That's what you got to watch out
Nobody
for.
signed off on the building that
I
I'm in.
agree. I
That's for
agree on
sure.
both sides. I think it's always keep quality control because you don't want to build structures that are bad, but you don't want to let in the opportunity for everybody to be making money off of it either. So I've seen that a lot where,
Right.
they put on another engineer and then that engineer is getting paid, but you really could have just done it with one or whatever situation. So everybody's protect
But for
themselves though
example, Doof,
in their own
out in the
endeavors.
country here where I live, we had this building built and it's got an upstairs loft with a full bathroom and nobody signed shit. So, it's just
Okay,
the way
Keith.
she
So I just
goes.
redone my bathroom. I just renovated my bathroom, and I
Yeah,
had to
but
have
I'm talking
4
about building
inspections.
a whole extensional
Yeah,
building,
yeah. I know. I had
Yeah.
to have a safety inspection. I had to have an inspection to get the asbestos removed.
Oh
Do you
Once
live
the
boy.
in the
asbestos,
country?
once
Like,
yeah, no, my house was built in the 80s though, and
okay.
Australia had this big asbestos thing where one specific company used weatherboard to build houses in the 80s that had asbestos in it.
Would you
So
believe me if I
we're
scraped all the asbestos off the ceiling of this fucking house, dude?
no, thank you. No, thank you. So we had to have an
I did.
inspection after the asbestos was removed. We then had to have plumbing fixed and an inspection for the plumbing to make sure it was up to spec, and then had new plans for the house to reroute the plumbing on the plans. It was a 10 grand process just to do a bathroom.
Oh my
So
God, dude.
I'm not doing the
Ugh.
ensuite.
I
Yeah, that's
personally
it, huh?
scraped all the
Done with that one.
asbestos off my grandma's house and our house. So
Without a mask. Just
yeah, that
breathing
was,
it.
hey man,
Just
you
huffing
know,
it in.
you're trying to get it done,
Just
dude.
knock it down.
Well, I mean, you guys, I think we've gone over time. Time just flies when you're talking to good
Great
friends,
conversation, Doof.
Great conversation.
That's all good,
We,
boys. I think my
yeah,
pineapples are ready to pick.
nice. Uh-oh, don't turn upside down. Yeah,
No,
no,
not
it's
them
been great
ones.
having you. That's amazing. We really appreciate it. And
Appreciate
we
it.
had a great time. I hope you did as
Appreciate
well.
you, boys.
And yeah, I hope you'll come back and visit with us again sometime.
I'll be back.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Yes.
That's going to do it for us here at the Habitual Overcomers podcast. We appreciate y'all hanging out, and we will see you guys next time.